The best-selling manga One Piece is full of mysteries and secrets that keeps its fans awake at night, and most of them are connected to one character, Dr. Vegapunk. 21 years after the first hint of the existence of this enigmatic character, Vegapunk appears for the first time in the manga. But readers still know almost nothing about this character. In fact, not even Vegapunk's gender is clear. Until now, every reference that has been made in the manga used male pronouns, but when Vegapunk appeared for the first time in chapter 1061, the scientist is actually a woman. However, some fans believe that this is actually a robotic body or a clone, so the mystery remains. What is undeniable is that the Vegapunk is the greatest mind in the One Piece world. Originally, she was a part of a group of genius scientists called as MADS, which included Vinsmoke Judge, the Straw Hat Sanji's father, Caesar Clown, and Queen. After MADS was dismantled by the world government, Vegapunk went to work for that powerful organization. Her inventions, which included pacifista cyborgs, seastone, and other dangerous weapons, play a big role in the dominance and control exerted by the world government. Dr. Vegapunk is known as the greatest scientist geniuses that One Piece world has ever known. He is the lead scientist at the world government's disposal with unparalleled scientific expertise and technological advancements. Vegapunk's mind is such that she is said to be more than 500 years ahead of the other scientists. She also worked on the creation of pacifista cyborgs, the old models, and possibly the new ones too, the Seraphims. Vegapunk is also responsible for the modification of former Seven Warlord member Bartholomew Kuma into a cyborg. Vegapunk currently leads the Special Scientist Group, abbreviated as SSG, an eponymous team with many projects. After the latest Levelly, the institution of the Seven Warlords of the Sea was abolished. The SSG was established to replace them and recently created the Seraphim unit, a new powerful version of the pacifista cyborgs imprinted with the peculiar powers of the Lunarian race. Now, Vegapunk has finally appeared in the main story as seen in the Egghead Island arc, which seems to be her personal island. Her role in the story is of the utmost importance given that she is the only one capable of explaining things such as devil fruits and things such as lineage factors. With Oda all set to tackle all these questions through Vegapunk, it is time for the fans to go over why this character is so important and what role she will play in the story moving forward. She was first mentioned in the chapter 433 after the events of Enies Lobby arc. It was Kobe, who was a petty officer at that time, who introduced the fans to Dr. Vegapunk. According to Kobe, it was all thanks to her that the Navy were able to make great advancements in the scientific fields. Kobe mentioned that Vegapunk was able to ensure that the Navy ships didn't have to go through the reverse mountain every single time they had to move in and go out of the Grand Line. At the same time, he also mentioned that Vegapunk has studied devil fruits to a great degree and finally managed to understand how they work. Even feeding these fruits to inanimate objects was made possible by Dr. Vegapunk. Dr. Vegapunk's personality and beliefs are yet to be revealed, but from what is known, he or she seems to be an honorable individual. A testament to that is before making Bartholomew Kuma a cyborg, he granted him his final wish as a human being, which was to program him to protect Straw Hat's ship, the Thousand Sunny, until their return. Vegapunk's personal history and personality remains a mystery. In her youth, which she spent on her naive island of Karakuri, Vegapunk was a generous person who cared very much for her countrymen and helped them with her inventions. Unlike her former colleagues in MADS, Vegapunk seems to have a moral code, as she refuses to experiment on children and vetoed Caesar's works on poison gas weapon. Vegapunk also granted Bartholomew Kuma his final wish before transforming him into complete pacifista cyborg. But the fact that she went along this experiment requested by the world government also implies that her moral code has a limit. Vegapunk's relationship with the world government, when fully explained, will probably define a lot about her character. It will also be interesting to see how the scientists will interact with Frankie, the Straw Hat shipwright, who transformed himself into a powerful cyborg, following Vegapunk's old blueprints and notes. Finally, as a person who cracked the secret of the devil fruit, Dr. Vegapunk holds the key to a mystery that fans of One Piece have been waiting for decades to see unveiled. A widely shared theory assumes that the girl is not Vegapunk's real body but an android that the old man is speaking through. A possible hint to this is that the fact that woman has the code as Punk02 on their body, considering the mecha shark has Punk03 on it and the robot warrior has Punk12. It's likely that the girl who claimed to be Vegapunk sharing the same kind of code is also the creation of real Dr. Vegapunk. Some fans also argue that the character could be his daughter or his niece. Most assume that they have a robotic body containing Vegapunk's consciousness, considering that they talk like an old man typically would. This could hint at the option of the scientist having separated his consciousness from his body, a really astonishing technological accomplishment. The debate over whether or not the young woman truly is Vegapunk has evolved most of the One Piece fandom. However, to learn the answer of this enigma, fans will have to wait at least 2 weeks due to the next chapter being delayed. One Piece's 1062's official release is scheduled to release on October 9 of 2022, with some leaks already available on the internet right now. I am really excited to read the next chapter, but what are your thoughts on this chapter? Let me know your thoughts about Dr. Vegapunk in the comment section down below. And watch some other videos of One Piece that I already have on my channel right now over here. And that's for today's video guys. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and that was it, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.